Good afternoon and welcome to our latest interview as part of a series of interviews with parliamentary candidates across both of Warrington's constituencies. Today we're joined by Lyndsay McAteer, who's standing for the Green Party in Warrington North. Lyndsay, welcome and good afternoon. Just to start, well into the campaign now, how is everything going so far?
Things are going very, very well. It's really exciting to meet so many brilliant people across our town involved in community and voluntary groups, and of course on the doorstep. We're getting a good level of support.
And in 2017, the Greens won just 619 votes in Warrington North, which amounted to 1.3% of the vote. Yeah. In this election, what would be deemed as a successful result for the Greens?
I think bearing in mind in 2017, that was a very bad result for the Green Party nationally. So that wasn't sort of just a localised thing that it was so low. We'd be looking to get at least 1,000 this time, but I'm sure that we can get a lot more than that. I'm sure that we can. We'd be aiming for about 5,000 or 6,000, but at least 1,000, I'd say, and we'd be happy with that.
And amid what has been described as the climate crisis, Brexit is still dominating politics and life in general here. Do you believe that residents in Warrington North are taking the climate crisis seriously enough?
I think more and more people are becoming aware of the impending crisis that does face us. Particularly young people, school students and college students and university students are becoming aware of what's actually happening there and what a major dilemma that we've got on our hands. If we don't get our house in order, our house is on fire at the moment. If we don't get our house in order in the next 12 years, we're facing catastrophic changes which to our way of life and everything to our environment. So I think more and more people are getting on board with it, yeah.
And looking back to the EU referendum in 2016, yes. How did you vote in the referendum?
I proudly voted to remain in the EU at the last referendum, and I was actually campaigning for Remain. And I would, the Green Party position moving forward would be a second confirmatory referendum, either to vote for the deal on the table or to vote to stay in the European Union. Now, in the Green Party, we do not believe that the European Union is a perfect organisation, is running smoothly and everything is tickety-boo. We do believe that a lot of changes are needed, but those changes are best made from within the European Union.
And Warrington is completely split on the issue, as is the country. Do you acknowledge a lot of the anger from those who backed leave in the EU referendum in 2016 at the fact that we haven't actually left yet?
I do, and I think that a lot, obviously more people voted to leave in that referendum, and I think that we have to sit down and find out exactly why people are voting leave, because some of the reason why people voted leave is to do with disempowerment, is to believe with politicians, people in Whitehall, people in Brussels, taking everything away from us. We've got nothing, and to do with massive inequalities that are still within our society and within our town.
And in terms of your campaign, it must be difficult to sort of get past the belief that many have that a vote for the Greens is somewhat a wasted vote. Is that a message that you do encounter on the door?
Is true. As you know, the Green Party and most other parties, apart from Conservative and Labour, are campaigning for changes to the electoral system so that each vote is counted equally, so that if you vote for your party, proportional representation would deliver your say in Parliament through those people. So we believe that every vote for the Green is a vote to acknowledge that there is a climate emergency and that we need urgent action on this area. Every vote for the Green means that you have the chance of putting a Green in the room, whether it be in Westminster, whether it be on your local council, and Greens won't just toe the line, they are there to hold everyone else to account, to hold Labour's feet to the fire and to get things changed for the better for people and the environment.
And one of the biggest issues facing residents in Warrington North is obviously the Peel Hall site.
It is, yeah.
What is your view on Peel Hall? Would you like to see that land protected from any future development?
Peel Hall is so important to the people of this town. It's the green lung of North Warrington. I was privileged to get a chance to go up there the other week and have a look round for myself. It is the last natural green space that's out there in North Warrington. It needs to be protected. On the border is a motorway, and then it's like if there was going to be building on there, it'd be built right next to the motorway. That means no green space. That means all buildings. That means air pollution, light pollution, everything like that. So we in the Green Party, we want to see Peel Hall protected as a site, and protected for not just for us, but for future generations, for the ecosystem, for the wildlife, for our health and well-being. Yeah,
of course. And one of our viewers is just asking for the Green Party stance on HS2. Do you believe that project needs to be shelved, or?
We do. We think it's a waste of money. But where we think that money should be spent is on a regional transport revolution. So sorting out the train system between Liverpool and Manchester, for example, electrifying routes, getting these kind of shoddy pacer trains off the network, getting proper, fast, reliable services throughout the northwest. So HS2 also threatens to cut into a lot of ancient woodland as well. So it's an environmental issue, but it's a practical issue. HS2 is not going to benefit you or I. It's not going to benefit people in Warrington North.
From HS2 to social media, it obviously opens up new avenues of conversation between politicians and voters, but has a very, very dark side as well. Many politicians have been subjected to high levels of abuse. Have you faced much abuse on social media?
I've got to be honest, I haven't, but I know that it's easy for people to sit behind a keyboard and type out without being known. People feel like they can make abusive comments about people, and they can hide behind this keyboard. It's totally wrong. It's like any other form of abuse and discrimination. It needs to be got rid of. And it needs to be tackled. So I think that personally, I think there should be some kind of legal redress to victims of this kind of online bullying and taunting.
Of course, and away from politics, I mean, what do you do to sort of try and take your mind off politics and Brexit?
Well, the most relaxing thing for me is taking walks through. I often go for a walk with my mum through Calderstones Park in Liverpool, as going to green spaces, places where there's nature, where birds are singing, to wind down. I also enjoy, of course, spending time with my friends and catching up with family as well. And I enjoy watching football, and I enjoy reading books and watching films. I guess what most people like doing.
Thanks for your time today, Lyndsay.
Okay, thank you.